This Model 3 is literally a computer or robot on 4 wheels. And let me tell you why. Hi, this is Joe from Scarff Ford and Isuzu. Today we're talking about this 2023 Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive. Let's dive in. So yes, this is probably one of the most technologically advanced devices that an average human will own. It's amazing. This thing's like a smartphone, a computer, a robot on 4 wheels. Even though it might have the same form factor as many other cars you see on the road, it is far different when we look under the skin. Even looking inside the passenger compartment, it looks far different. And aside from, maybe super rich people that can buy like a super yacht or a private jet, this is literally one of the most technologically advanced, amazing things that average person can own or drive. And not even drive it, this is capable of driving itself. Okay, I have a tendency to ramble on about these Teslas, but they're just so different than any other vehicle. I have a love for all vehicles. I own gas cars. I actually own a Tesla 2019 Model 3 myself. I've had it for about 3 years. I've bought and sold hundreds of Teslas over the last 5 years, and they are amazing vehicles, and they're far different. They might not be for everybody, but for a lot of people, I think they'll work fantastic. Notice the clean sheet design in the interior. It's not overly cluttered by buttons and knobs, and that's by design. Some people ridicule Teslas for not having, some people say, I like the feel of a real button or a knob to turn. Well, that might be nice, but those buttons and knobs, those are there forever. This screen is infinitely reconfigurable. Like your smartphone, you can get an update, you can get your iOS updated, and you have new features. This is actually one of the few vehicles that actually gets better. It gains features the older it gets. My Tesla, the 3 years since I've owned it, it's gained features, it's gotten safer, it's gotten better a lot of ways, even though it's gotten older. And this screen and Tesla's over-the-air updates keeps it relevant. Tesla is the king of over-the-air updates. They're one of the first companies to push out over-the-air software updates. Back in 2012, when they first came out with the Model S, it was unheard of in the industry. Tesla pioneered that. And we've seen other car manufacturers kind of catch up, but nowhere to the ability of Tesla. And the big reason why Tesla has so much control and they can push out so many updates is because they make a lot of these components and they make the software that power these components in-house. A lot of other manufacturers, they rely on third parties like Bosch or the Automotive to make different systems and components for their vehicles. So sometimes when they have to update something, they have to call the company that sold them that part and say, hey, we need to write a firmware update so it can communicate with this device or with this device and update this firmware, blah, 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 blah. And the company will tell the manufacturer, okay, well, we'll get that going. It'll probably take about 3 or 4 months for us to get that going. It'll take about 3 or 4 months for us to get that update out to you. That's a long time. Where Tesla, since they have so much control over these vehicles, they can update the firmware, do a software update or update a recall in a matter of days and push it out. They move at the speed of light, where a lot of other manufacturers move at a snail's pace. And their different philosophy on cars, on manufacturing, has translated into these vehicles being very innovative and very amazing. There's a depth to this screen that is unparalleled by any other vehicle. This is literally like an iPad. It has a depth to it like an iPad. A lot of other car manufacturers, they might have a few different settings, a few different cool things to do with the display. There's nobody that has anything compared to this. And you don't always have to mess around with the screen. There's 140 different voice commands. You can be like, make it warmer, and it'll raise the temperature. You can say, make it cooler, wipers on, wipers off. I can go on and on. So I see a lot of reviews, people, professional companies that, review cars, and they don't know anything about this stuff. They'll smoke a Tesla in a review because they say, oh, I don't like going through the screen, where they don't even know about the 140 different voice commands. You can't always trust the information you hear. You need to, sometimes do a little bit more research or experience it yourself. We have these amazing live maps with you get with premium connectivity. You don't need to connect your phone to the car. You can do that if you don't want to pay for the premium connectivity, but for 10 bucks a month, it beams data right to the vehicle. You can stream music through the screen. You can watch YouTube, Netflix, obviously while you're not driving. You can play video games. So many great ways to stream music. You have SiriusXM, TuneIn Music, YouTube Music, my favorite, Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Podcasts. You can do in-car karaoke, Apple Music, Tidal. I mean, it's amazing how much stuff you can do. So many different video games to play. So if you're supercharging, maybe you're waiting for your spouse in the store, you're in the car, you can play games. You can use the screen, you can use the steering wheel and brake for some of the driving games, or you can get like a Bluetooth wireless controller and play the games that way. We have amazing cameras. This vehicle has cameras all the way around it. It's a safety features to help avoid accidents for the autopilot, or if you subscribe or buy the full self-driving, it helps those systems function. But there's also other benefits to these cameras. For instance, here's a video of someone who I knew who was rear-ended in a Tesla. There's no questions anymore when you show this to the police officer or the insurance company who's at fault. Here's another video. I had my Tesla parked outside a restaurant, and when I was getting back in my car, this person comes up to me and says, "Hey, can you help? I know you have a Tesla. Can you pull up the camera? Someone hit my car and took off." And you can see right there, my car picked it up. So I don't know of any other vehicle that can do stuff like this. It has all these cameras around it. You can pull up live camera views right from your phone. You can record from your phone and save it to your phone. I mean, that's the other thing. Aside from this display, I haven't seen a car that has the amount of integration with a smartphone. You can do scheduled departures. Often in the wintertime, I'll fire up my climate control system and heated seats, and that also heats up the battery right as I get out of the shower. So when I'm ready to get in my car, 15 minutes later, the car's all warmed up, the battery's warmed up. You can have scheduled departures, so the vehicle knows, okay, you leave every morning at 6 a.m. Well, I'm going to start warming up the car for you. And here's another example of the amazing depth of this product. So this is a software screen. It's a Model 3, very low miles, 7,723 miles. We have the amazing autopilot traffic aware cruise control, which makes your life so much easier. But check this out. I don't recommend you messing with this. This is Tesla's service mode, but I'm not gonna mess with any settings. You can mess up the vehicle, but just to demonstrate how amazing this car is, the depth to it, there's nothing like it. So this is service mode. So a lot of times when they have to do diagnostics on a car, they have to have an external computer and plug it into the vehicle to see what's going on with it. Well, this car is a robot. It's a computer on wheels. So all the diagnostics for the vehicle are internalized in the screen. So much information here. Like, for instance, here's the driver's assistance components. So here are the cameras. This is the information about the cameras. This is the connectivity to stream data inside the vehicle. This shows you the current software it's running. This shows information about the high voltage system. This is the rear-wheel drive battery. Shows information about the internal charger. This is information about the high voltage battery, and now they have an update where you can do battery checks on the vehicle. This shows you the power distribution through the vehicle right now, the systems that are running and drawing power from the battery. Information about the drive units, that's the rear electric motor. Here's more information about power distribution. This is the information about the air conditioning system, the coolant system. This has a very complex thermal management system to keep the batteries at a happy temperature so they're more efficient. The HVAC system, information about the alignment, TPMS system, information about the steering system, the braking system. I can just go on and on. And again, I don't recommend you messing with that system yourself. You can possibly damage the vehicle. That's basically for the Tesla service department. So let's talk about value. These Model 3s on the pre-owned market are an amazing value right now. This video could be being watched 5 years in the future, but this is a 23 Model 3, a little under 8,000 miles. You can find these things in the pre-owned market right now for under $30,000. This is a lot of car that's pretty much in near new condition for under $30,000. And we're not comparing this to like a Honda or Accord or a Nissan Altima. This is for the features and performance and technology this has. You're comparing this to like a BMW, a Lexus, or Mercedes. And I don't know of any Lexus or Mercedes products that are this new that you can buy for under $30,000. And what would you rather have? Would you rather have a Honda Accord, or would you rather have a Lexus? But the other thing is, even though this might compare with Lexuses and Mercedes as far as features, technology, and performance, the ownership costs are far lower. In fact, the Model 3 is the cheapest car to own out of any other vehicle on the road. Any other vehicle. So you have ownership costs that are lower than any other vehicle, but you have luxury and performance that is on par with premium brands like Lexus and Mercedes. The reason why the cost of ownership is so low is that an electric vehicle is far simpler than a complex internal combustion engine. An internal combustion engine powered car has thousands of moving parts. It has a complex emission control system, gas tanks, fuel systems, and a battery and electric motor is very simple. There's not much to them. Brakes last forever in EVs. EVs and hybrids, they use regenerative braking, so when you're braking, it will reverse the polarity of the electric motors, turning them into a generator, so all that kinetic energy you normally lose through heat, through braking, is recaptured and put back in the batteries. And since you're using the electric motors so often to slow the vehicle down, the actual brakes are used far less. Pretty much you're only using the brakes for like emergency stop situations. The level of regenerative braking is adjustable, but you just have to get used to it. Some people are so used to driving gas cars, they want a vehicle to coast. But when you get to regenerative braking, you can modulate the power with the throttle. You can drive with one pedal. It will aggressively slow down when you move your foot off the accelerator, so you can go down to a complete stop without even having to hit the brakes. And if you're operating on autopilot or full self-driving, you don't really have to worry about the way the vehicle feels when you're using the accelerator or the brake, because the vehicle's driving the car for you. You're not even touching those things on your own. So let's talk about battery technology. So battery technology is different in Teslas. This is back in 2023, Tesla is still using LFP batteries in their vehicles. LFP stands for Lithium Iron Phosphate. It's really cool battery technology. In fact, it was first designed in the United States, but it really has been popularized in China. China has companies that make some of the best LFP batteries in the world. So for all the Teslas that were using LFP batteries, they were getting those batteries from China. Generally, LFP batteries are less expensive than comparable lithium-ion batteries. Lithium-ion batteries are generally more energy dense and they offer better performance. They're made in the United States. So Tesla, basically, to keep the vehicles qualifying for the $7,500 tax credit when they're brand new, they just started using lithium-ion batteries that were locally sourced, because the LFP batteries from China would not allow the vehicles to qualify for that $7,500 discount. So pretty much overnight, we almost saw the LFP batteries disappear from US Teslas. They still use them in Teslas all over the world, including China. So obviously for a used vehicle, it doesn't matter, because this is not going to qualify for any tax credit since it's used. So that doesn't really matter. But the things that do matter is there are some advantages to LFP batteries, lithium iron phosphate, versus lithium-ion batteries. Lithium-ion batteries generally offer a little bit more performance. They're energy dense. They weigh a little bit less than comparable LFP batteries, but they do have some advantages. So I have an older Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus, which basically is an older version of this car, but my Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus has lithium-ion batteries. Pretty much all the newer Model 3s right now in the United States have lithium-ion batteries. But the thing is lithium-ion batteries for daily use, they only like to be charged to 80%. When you charge them to 100% all the time, that can cause premature deterioration of the battery. So to have the happiest, longest life with your lithium-ion equipped Teslas, you got to charge to 80% every day. Every once in a while, it's okay to charge for 100% for a road trip. With LFP batteries, which this Tesla has, they actually like to be charged to 100%. It's quite the opposite. When you you set it to charge to 100% with lithium-ion battery-equipped Teslas, it gives you a warning message. Warning, we only recommend you charging 80% for daily use. But it's the opposite. It says, look at here, we recommend keeping your charge limit at 100% and charging fully once per week. So these batteries, the LFP batteries, actually like to be charged to 100%. It takes away the range difference between a long-range and standard range Tesla. If you have a long-range Tesla that is only charging to 80%, you're only getting 80% of that range. for daily use, where you have a LFP Tesla like this, it's getting 100% of its fully charged range for daily use because you can charge it to 100%. The other thing about LFP batteries, even though they might not offer the fastest 0 to 60 as a comparable lithium-ion battery, they are tending to be more durable and last longer. This battery has a potential to go 500,000 miles. These LFP batteries are very durable, and in fact, are proving now to be lasting longer than gas cars. The average life expectancy of a gas car is 150,000 miles, where we see plenty of Teslas. There's millions of Teslas on the road, millions of EVs. They're regularly going past 200,000 miles. Some have even 3 and close to 400,000 miles still under the original batteries, and they're not leaking oil. They're not leaking fluid, rough running engines. What's amazing about batteries and electric motors is they're far simpler. Most used cars that we taken on trade at our store of over 100,000 miles, we can't sell them on their lot just because they have too many problems. They're leaking oil, leaking coolant, there's problems, the engine's running rough. So we just send them to the auction. But a lot of Teslas that we've taken on trade with over 100,000 miles, they've hardly needed anything in the shop. It's quite the opposite. You don't have to worry about leaking oil, leaking coolant, having a rough running engine, burning oil. It's like owning an appliance. That's the reason why these things have such low ownership costs. Man, I just have a tendency to ramble on and on about these cars, but there's just so much to talk about. But the more we learn about them, the more there is to talk about. This has this cool double pane glass, which my Tesla doesn't have. This has a sound deadening material sandwich in between, which makes it a lot quieter. Nice updated interior as well. Since we don't have an engine in the front, we have a front, which gives you more storage. It's also a safety feature. You have all that space to absorb crash energy in a frontal collision. I really like the wedge minimalist design of the Model 3. Obviously, me owning one, it's really grown on me. I think it's just a nice, elegant look. Lots of space. This has a lot more space than the comparable compact sedan because we don't have drive shafts and gas tanks going through the middle. The floor is completely flat, so it allows for a cleaner sheet design in the interior. I'm 6'2". Look how much headroom I have. Look how much legroom. We have these huge glass roof panels, and there's inserts you can get on Amazon or from Tesla that will pop in place. They're collapsible and still really nice, just to cut down when it's sunny out, so the sun isn't as intense, and they work great. But yeah, plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom. We also added these upgraded wheel covers. These do have alloy wheels underneath, but they have these wheel covers that generally make them a little bit more efficient. But the nice thing about wheel covers, if you do curb your wheels or scrape them, you can just buy new ones on Amazon or buy them from Tesla and replace them. Or if you like the look of the alloy wheels, you can pull these off and get center caps for the alloy wheels, and they look nice that way as well. More recently, they added a power rear liftgate on the Model 3, another feature that my older Model 3 doesn't have. Nice big spacious trunk, and there's additional storage under here. Again, since we don't have a gas tank or an exhaust system, it allows for more storage. We also have a storage compartment on that side. Well, there you go, an amazing battery electric vehicle. If you're still with me on this long, rambling walk around on this Model 3, I really thank you. But so much information, I'm glad to share it with you. These are fantastic vehicles. If you're thinking about getting an EV, Tesla, they make more EVs out there than anyone, and the Model Y, which is basically a crossover version of the Model 3, has been the best-selling vehicle out of any type in the whole entire world for 2023 and 2024. So those people who think that EV technology hasn't gotten there, hasn't gone mainstream, well, guess what? For an EV to be the best-selling vehicle, not best-selling electric vehicle, best-selling vehicle of any type in the whole entire world for 23, 24, most likely 25, the technology is here, and it's been here for quite a while. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.